A very good morning to all of you, my dear children. In this video, I would like to talk about how microbes can be used in the production of biogas under the chapter Microbes in Human Welfare. So, without any further ado, let's get started. First, what is biogas? Do you know? Biogas is a mixture of gases like methane, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen, which is produced by the activity of microbes. In this biogas mixture, the predominant gas is the methane. It is a renewable source of energy. Certain bacteria grow anaerobically and produce a large amount of methane along with the carbon dioxide and hydrogen. These bacteria are collectively considered as methanogens. Methanobacterium is one of such methanogens. Methanobacterium is present in the anaerobic sludge digester, which is in the sewage treatment, and it is also present in the rumen of the cattle. Rumen is one of the four compartments of stomach of cattle, right? So here methanobacterium is present, and it is also present in the anaerobic sludge digester in during the production of sewage treatment. In rumen of cattle, this bacteria, that is methanobacterium, help to break down the cellulose which are present in the cellulosic food material. Therefore, these methanobacterium play an important role in the nutrition of cattle. Thus, the dung, that is the excreta, gobar, which is produced by the cattle, contain large amount of this bacteria that is commonly called gobar. The dung thus produced can be used for the production of biogas. Actually, in our previous videos, we have seen that microbes are responsible for developing various types of gases, and it depends on the microbes, and at the same time it depends on the material, the substrate which is used by that microbes, right? This cattle dung is available in the rural areas in large quantities. Therefore, these biogas plants are more often in the rural areas, and it is cheap. It can be used in the rural areas for lighting and cooking purposes, right? The conversion of waste into energy takes in a biogas plant by the activity of this type of methanogens in large scale production. I'm talking about large scale production. Biogas plant consists of a source of supply to feed stock, digestion tank, a large anaerobic digestion tank near about 10 to 15 feet deep, where continuously that bio wastes are collected, and biogas recovery unit which is isolated, which is responsible for the production of biogas, and time to time the spent slurry is also released out, removed out through different outlet, and the heat exchanger is also present when a large scale biogas is produced in the plant to maintain the temperature of the biodigester, right? So the bio wastes, as I told you, continuously collected in this biodigester tank through this inlet, okay, and the slurry of dung is also continuously, actually the slurry of dung continuously fed through this inlet, and bio wastes are collected in this digester tank, and here the microbes are allowed to digest, that is the methanogens are allowed to digest this bio waste anaerobically, right? The slurry is covered with a floating tank, with a floating tank which keeps on rising due to the production of biogas, and then the biogas which is produced is connected to the pipes which then responsible for supplying the biogas to the nearby houses, that is the biogas outlet, right? Now the used slurry is removed through an outlet, this one, and that is the effluent. It can be used as fertilizer later. Clear?
You can see how this works. The waste material is mixed with water and enters the reactor and mixes with the material already in the reactor undergoing degradation. Biogas is generated in the slurry through anaerobic digestion. The gas bubbles then move to the top part of the reactor, where gas accumulates and starts to build up pressure if the valve is closed. When the valve is closed, the gas pressure will increase and push down the slurry in the reactor and up into the overflow chamber. When then the gas is used, the gas pressure drops and the slurry level balances out to a new equilibrium.
Clear?
You can see how this works. The way
So this slide shows the picture of a typical biogas plant, and it is the biogas plant, the photograph. It is the anaerobic digester where the bio waste is collected and methanogens are allowed to grow to digest anaerobically. It is the inlet from where the dung is continuously in mixture with the water is fed into it, and then due to the activity of the microbes, biogas is produced, and if the valve is closed, it is responsible for developing pressure. So this cover is responsible for raising upward direction, that is the floating cover is responsible for rising upward direction, and it is connected, the biogas which is produced connected to the pipe, and which is ultimately responsible for the supply to the nearby houses, okay. And time to time the spent slurry which is produced due to the activity of the methanogens are removed through this outlet pipe and later on can be used as fertilizer, right? Clear? Now the advantages of biogas. What are the advantages? Biogas is mainly used in the rural areas. Why? Because in the rural areas, for the domestic purposes and various other reasons that cattle are used, so the gobar is available in large amount. It is safe, it is cheap, it is a renewable source of energy, and it can be used for lighting and cooking. It is eco-friendly and does not cause any pollution, which is very very important. It can be used for driving engines. It is easy to generate, transport and store it improves sanitation of the surroundings. The gobar, which is produced in the rural areas by the domestic cattle, can be used up. The residue left after the production of the biogas, that can also be used as manure, right? These biogas plant, as I told you, mainly used in the rural areas, and the technology of the biogas production was developed in India due to the effort of Indian Agricultural Research Institute IARI and Khadi Village Industries Commission KVIC. Okay, so the solar energy, that is the biogas cycle, in brief I'm telling you, the solar energy that is trapped by the green plants by the process of the photosynthesis, and then what happens, that is taken up by the different types of organisms, that is it is used in by the human beings and various other purposes, and then which is responsible for the production of the organic wastes. These organic wastes, the bio waste, then transferred into the anaerobic digester where methanogens are added, and then the biogas is produced, which is connected to the pipe and supplied to the nearby houses for cooking, lighting, as we have discussed, for various purposes. And the spent sari can be used as biofertilizer again in the field, right? And here in this process, oxygen and carbon dioxide are also produced, that can be once again utilized by the plant during photosynthesis. This brings me to the end of this video. Thank you, my children. Be curious, be inquisitive, and keep learning.